Good morning, and welcome to Between the Covers. My name is Jeffrey Yorio. I am your host, and I thank you for your time and your ear. Today's reading is from the book Baker Street Legacy, Book 1, My Dear Branson, by Gail R. Delany. What is your name? She raised her head from staring at his black polished shoes, strange shoes for this weather. Kip, Kip Branson. His head canted a slight degree. Kip, is that a nickname? Short for Kipling. Unusual name. Better than Rudyard if I were a boy, Kip said, giving her pat answer. He chuckled a deep baritone that cut through the excess noise. Quite right, he said with a nod, and then grew serious again. How are you? She blinked again, the only act she could seem to focus on properly. How was she? What a bizarre question. But she tried to focus on the most obvious intent of it. I'll be fine, she answered, avoiding the urge to nod because of the pounding behind her eyes. They said I banged my head pretty good, so I should be checked, but I think I'm fine. What about you? What about Professor Crane? He took a step closer to her, coming more fully into the light cast from the interior of the ambulance, and there was no mistaking the strain around his eyes. She noticed a reserve about him when they spoke in the hall, but this was more. The paramedics and emergency staff are still cataloging all the injured. Are you with the police? She asked. A dull headache bloomed in the spot between her eyes, with a promise to get worse before it got better. Then she remembered he'd said he was there to speak to the class. A police officer wouldn't come speak to a postgraduate comparative literature class. I can't help but notice you're not from Boston. A quick upward tip of one corner of his mouth preceded his answer. He tugged at the lapel of his coat to reach inside, bringing out a leather billfold. He opened it and held it out for her to read, and in the dim light all she made out was Secret Intelligence Service across the top. Though this isn't representative of my purpose here at the university, it does allow me to assist in the investigation. Welcome to Boston, Kip said before her jumbled brain told her this might not be the best time for sarcasm. He flipped the wallet closed, an almost indiscernible smile tugging at one corner of his lips, and extended his hand to Kip. She snaked her arm free of the blanket and took it, the warmth of the grip a contrast to the cold. He adjusted his hold to avoid the worst of her bandages while still taking her hand. Grayson Holmes. She arched an eyebrow. And you think my name is unusual, Agent Holmes? Thank you, and salute.